Hello, 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 hello. Hello. Alright, guys, I'm here. I have. Sorry for the delay, I was setting everything up, basically. But here we are with this live stream. Got it all up and running. And we have quite a lot to talk about, as we understood for this unbelievable winter storm. There's quite a lot going on. Ice in a lot of places, snow in a lot of places. So we're just going to look all around the place. You can see, we're going to first check out Nashville, Tennessee, because I knew it was snowing there earlier, but it looks like the snow has stopped. I think the Gap has finally gotten to that area, so there you have it. You can also see a lot of western Tennessee is in that Gap, but if we look back at the second round of things, then you can see we have a lot of snow in Oklahoma, and it probably will overperform because, I mean, it was snow squalling earlier in that region, so I think it will overperform, especially since it's mostly been snow. In fact, let's go look at some cameras from Oklahoma. Here we have cameras all around. I mean, we could look right in OKC. I mean, let me see. Okay, so it's still light out there. Yeah, that is a bit of snow. I mean, it wasn't as much as I was expecting, to be honest. I feel like it isn't really snowing right now. So that's interesting. That's interesting. Let me see where the snow... Okay, so it's not really there. It's to the east. I would say it's closer to Tulsa and all those places. So that is probably where all the snow is at. Maybe closer to Fort Smith as well. Let me get to that area. Here, there's one camera over here. Let's look at it. Alright, here, okay, it's actually snowing over here, and it does look like much more snow. I mean, you can see the road ramps are completely covered over here, so I think that that is reasonable to say that it is still snowing in this region. Sorry, I was just checking. It's hard to really, like, do the thing where, I still don't really know the thing where I can't check my analytics while, like, streaming. Like, I have to check my... What I mean by that is, like, you know, I can't not show it. So, that is a problem still. I think I can. I would just need to shut the stream off, but it's kind of difficult to have it going on in the background. Oh, I have an idea. Here, wait. Just bear with me for a second. You're just gonna see the macOS screen capture go away for a second. Okay. Okay. Oh, my bad. Alright, there we go. And let me just do that. Okay, there we go. So now you can see it without me having to go back to the analytics and all that stuff. Because I just changed the window. But without further ado, we continue with this live stream. I don't know what I'm saying. Alright. Okay. So here is Snowy Road in Oklahoma. There's another camera out here. That looks like a picture camera, so we're just going to continue with this camera. You can still see it snowing in that region. Going back to radar, let me change the scene. Oh, wrong scene. You can see still quite a bit to notice. It looks like there's only one small snow band really in eastern Oklahoma. It's not very large. It's not very widespread. It's more north to south than west to east, I notice. So you might not be able to see as much snow with that in a more widespread area. You can see a lot of ice in the Dallas area. I don't know if this is ice or sleet. I think it's mostly ice just because of how far south we are here. So, there we go. Oh, okay, it still doesn't work. Yeah, I thought it would work, but yeah. Alright. Oh, it does still work. Yeah, okay, it does still work. I was just confused. Alright. So, we're still showing this road in Oklahoma. Let me see if I can find some other cameras. We can look in near Fort Smith, Arkansas. I feel like there's gonna be some cameras there. This one's kind of glitching out a little bit, but you can still see what's going on. Definitely low visibility, too. I wouldn't recommend driving in this, not just for the ice accumulating on the ground. I mean, it's not really going to be the best visibility either. I mean, these are snowstorms, so it is going to be like blizzard conditions. It's not going to be as windy as blizzard conditions are, but definitely going to be up there. So I would proceed with caution. You can see this truck on the right struggling to get in, but they're still managing. You can see how slow they're going, of course. This is the Arkansas Welcome Center, so right across the state line from Oklahoma. Here, wait. Should I? Yeah. I won't keep it. Oh. Wait. Alright. So we have those cameras. Let me just see what the radar is looking like at the moment. Okay, so here is where the rain band is beginning to develop. We're starting to see that warm air pile up a little bit. You can see it's even reaching into McMinnville, Tennessee, which is pretty much central Tennessee. So you can see the rain really starting to come in. This is still causing ice in southern Tennessee and into northwestern Alabama and into Mississippi, but it does look like the warm air is going to advect to the north a little more. So, hopefully that'll reduce the amount of ice that we're seeing at the moment, even though I think it's still been pretty hectic over there. Let me actually see in Alabama what we're seeing. Oh, I think the problem with Alabama is, I gotta look here. Let me just see a camera in that area. Where is the area that we're searching? Yeah, like near Florence. So let me search Florence. That's no cameras. Huntsville. Here, let me try this. Okay. Weird. Oh, I guess there is none. Okay. What county is Florence in? Oh, Lauderdale. I don't really know how this thing works. Let me go to Mississippi, because I don't know how the thing in Alabama works. I don't know how the traffic camera set up for that Alabama works up. We're just moving to Mississippi in the general area. So here's near Tupelo, if this loads. Having a little trouble. Not sure why this isn't working here. Is it opening it in a different window? Oh, there it is. I have no idea what happened. I don't know why it took so long. It does look like this is just a picture cam, so let me see if I can... Okay, that's not actually quite Tupelo, Mississippi. You can see it's already getting dark in the region. Switch to video. Oh, okay, there we go. So, this is a video camera. Yeah, it does look a little icy. I mean, I can't... Can I full screen this? Sorry. Yeah, I can full screen this. It is looking a little icy. I think it's playing. I don't know. It's a little weird. I'm not sure if this is playing or not. I think it is when I don't keep it full screen. Or maybe it is just a picture camera. I'm not really sure. But I think it is a video. It's just hard to tell because there's no cars here, so it's really hard to tell. Okay, so Maine. Alright, I mean, I didn't know you guys were getting that much snow, to be honest. I really didn't know. Let's look at our models. I'm gonna look in East Triple R. I mean, you guys are in the Northeast, so you're bound to get a lot of snow because of the nor'easter system. I think you guys are under... It depends where you are in Maine, because not everybody's under a winter storm warning. If you're in, like, northern Maine, then it's only, like, how many inches? 4 to 6 inches. But if you're in, like, Portland or something, let me see if that says 12 to 8. Yeah, it says, like, 10 to 18 inches. So I think that's the area that you're generally in. And you can see there's some snow still going on by the end of this run at about 1 p.m. on Monday. So let me see how much snow that is. It's weird, because this model isn't really showing that much snow. Like, if you're in far southern Maine, then it's like 14 inches. But it's just one model run, so I would take it with a grain of salt. Okay, going back to the cameras. Let's just look at the radar again to see where everything is. Okay, so we are having some ice problems in Texas, so let me see if there's any representation of that. Lubbock area. Let's take... I know these are just picture cameras. I'm pretty sure Texas only has picture cameras, but still, we can use these. Okay, so the thing just had to reload. Oh, because I had to go to another... Okay. Well, let's go a little bit further south. Yeah, it's not really much further south. This may work. I mean, you can... I can't really... I have to zoom in on it in order for us to really see it, but... You can see there's some snow on the roadway. I don't know if that's the area... Yeah, that's the area that's still in snow. I mean, it's close to the icy area, but... I think we have to look near Abilene in order to really see the ice come into play. So let's try that. I mean, it looks like mostly snow, so that is a good thing. But it's kind of hard to tell, of course, because these are, once again, just frame cameras. So, hard to tell. Gorham, Maine. Let me see where that is. Yeah, I'm looking up. Okay. Yeah, so you're in that general area. You might be in that far southern area where you get like 14 inches, but once again, that was one model run. Let me see what the National Weather Service says. 12 and... Okay, so that's where you got the number from, yeah. Still can't really see much in Abilene, but you can see some cameras in the region. It is very low visibility here. I mean, I don't know what the reason for that is, but definitely be careful. Well, I know what the reason for that is. I mean, it's the winter storm, but, like, you know, I don't know if it's, like, exacerbated by something. I don't know. But definitely be careful while driving, not just for the ice in this area. I mean, it is low visibility, so you probably won't be able to see ahead. Be careful. Let me change the scene. I didn't change the scene. My bad. Keep forgetting to. Yeah, it's gonna be a normal night. Sorry, that was earthquakes. It's gonna be a normal night for now. I mean, it feels like a normal night here too. It's not really gonna be anything insane until, let me see what the timing is exactly. Let me see. I of course need to look at this map. It's annoying how pivotal weather does this thing. Okay, so like 1 p.m. tomorrow, you will start getting snow. Well, that's just the state of Maine, really. But it's around 1 to 3 p.m. And you guys are not in the situation where it's going to transition into sleet. It's definitely most not likely not, because you guys are so far north. So it's very unlikely for you guys to see sleet or anything like that. It's just going to be plain snow. And potentially that 12 to 18 inches, which some parts of areas further south could still get, but we still have the chance to get sleet in those areas. So that might ruin the chances. Alright, let's look at the radar and look at a couple of things real quickly. You can see how far these winter weather advisories go. They go all the way down to Lafayette. Almost reminds me of last year, but of course that was way further south. Remember that winter storm. It's crazy. I mean, I'm not entirely sure why they have that winter weather advisory there. Like, it's for freezing rain, but it's mostly just rain in this area. You have to look up to Natchitoches, or I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. I know that Texas one is pronounced differently, but anyways, let me go over, actually, let me just go to a region. Let me go over the severe weather threat for tomorrow, because I am going to cover that a little bit, as well as when snow's falling in my area. I do want to cover that a little bit, because I think it will be interesting. Because, let me go to the SPC. You do see they added the slight risk, 5% tornado risk as well, from Montgomery, Mobile, Albany, Dothan, and Pensacola. All of those places are now under 5%, which means we could get some supercells. And if you look in their discussion, where is it? If a sustained supercell manages to develop, a strong tornado cannot be ruled out as the storm crosses the warm front. So we're basically looking for that warm front, which is the northern side of everything. Let me see if we can find that here. Of course, you can't really see it yet because it hasn't developed yet. This is in the middle of the night. Let me see. Yeah. It's not really going to be in range. So let me just see. You can see how close the ice is going to be to that severe storm scenario, though. It's really going to be insane. There's going to be, like, ice right behind the front. Okay, so here you can see some supercellular stuff kind of develop in eastern Alabama. I wouldn't say those are really supercells. They're kind of a little too tiny. Maybe here in Georgia. Let me look at the conditions there. Even though it's... No, I think Georgia isn't that 5% risk. In Georgia, there is that risk for some supercells, I would say. Let me see. Here's the reflectivity. Yeah, those look like some sort of supercellular type thing. So let me see what it's indicating for those storms in terms of the conditions. That is not the cape I usually looked at. Let's look at this. About 500 joules per kilogram of mixed layer cape. Let me look at the sounding here. I'm not perfect with soundings, but interesting. I mean, this says marginal severe. I guess, wait, maybe that's not where it was. Maybe I'm looking too far north. Or maybe that really is just marginal severe. I don't know. It looked more interesting. Okay, so here we have marginal tor. I'm a little confused on why they added this strong tornado threat. I kind of get it. There was like 1,000 joules per kilogram in that region. I'm a little confused, but I for the most part, agree with them. I'm not gonna argue with them. You can still see a marginal tornado risk here, and you can see that is some decent curvature. Let me see where I can find the dew points. I know you can find the dew points here. Well, shear is about 54 to 40, so that's all right. Cape. I mean, there's up to 1,000 cape, so that's... The storm Slinky, I don't know what that does, to be honest with you. I think I get this. Well, I'm not perfect with soundings, of course. I know this. Okay, this is the dew point and the temperature. That's not very conducive, though. You can see, and there is a large dry sector in the upper layers. I don't think that's always bad. I think in the far upper layers, it's okay. But you can see the dew point and the temperature are the same, so that's not really going to cause any tornadoes. Let me look further south. I'm going to look further south to see if any... still not good. I mean... This is also later on. I feel like it's going to be more in the morning. Okay, this is alright. It's an 8-degree difference, but still... I don't know. I think marginal tornadoes are possible, but I'm not really expecting too much. This does say a tornado threat, like typical tornado threat. So, I don't know. We really will see. We'll see what goes on with this. Oh, wait. I was on the wrong scene the entire time. But, you know. Here's what I was talking about. I mean, as long as I just told you. Here's what it looks like, the tornado threat. You can see it's like a 6-degree dew point change. No tornadoes in Maine. My bad for not disclaiming that. But yeah, you can see this 5% risk where it is placed across the U.S. It might extend a little far north for what I expected to. Not that far north, but... Alright, let's look at the radar again. Not much to really see here, I mean, besides all the winter storm warnings, I mean, of course. Some heavy precipitation is heading into Sweetwater and Abilene, though. So that's very interesting. I mean, let me look back at Abilene. Where is that here? I mean, this isn't a new frame. This is from 9 minutes ago. Let me see if there's a new frame now. No, there isn't. I think they take frames every, like, 10 minutes. So... You know, this might be new, but I don't really know. Let's look in Sweetwater. I think it's a little heavier there. Oh, wow. There's a huge truck pile up there. I think... I don't know if I said that correctly. I'm not perfect with traffic, but... There's some sort of traffic going on. There must have been an accident or something. Let me see if you can see it here. Well, this sign might say something. Oh, it just says icy conditions. But yeah, there's some sort of accident that may have happened near Sweetwater, which makes sense. There's very heavy ice in that region. Or some sort of precipitation. Keep forgetting to change the scene. Oh my gosh. Don't know where we could get reports from. I'm not quite sure. I mean, I'm just gonna have to wait for people in the chat or something. Which is fine. I don't know why Radar Omega is so slow. Something. Guess I have too many tabs open. Let me just. There you go. Apps too. Guess that worked a little. Why is there a black line near Memphis? Weird. Very weird. Looks like we just got a flood advisory for Baton Rouge and also some parts of Alabama. So be careful, you might get some flooding. Wait, is this for a thunderstorm? Yeah, this is for a thunderstorm. So there is a thunderstorm currently near Hammond, Louisiana that actually has gotten a special weather statement. Not for snow or anything. Like, sometimes special weather statements can be issued for snow or ice or anything like that. This is for a thunderstorm, so really goes to show how close the ice and everything is. Definitely very close by. But you can see there's a lot of precipitation that just went through Baton Rouge, and there's still more to come, so be careful out there because you are in a flood advisory. But it's very interesting. Let me see the conditions for that special weather statement. I need to see. I mean, I really don't think there's much, actually. This is about now. Well, here, let me go. Here. Not much cape at all. Actually, some most unstable cape. But that's about it. I feel like that's just from the... Let me see. Okay, so there's actually good lapse rates, but I think that just means maybe hail with that thunderstorm. Let me see the shear. Yeah, the shear is kind of like a gap there. There's actually kind of low shear in that region. So I wouldn't really, like, think of any more risks than just a thunderstorm and maybe some hail with it. Let me see if it does say that there's some hail. Half inch, so that makes sense. I don't know. I was just looking to see if that would produce a tornado. I don't think it would. And we're not expecting that today, so very unlikely. Alright, let's look back at our cameras. Let me just see where the most heavy ice is. You can see, I think this is a new mesoscale discussion. So let's look at the mesoscale discussion that was issued right here. Transition from predominantly snow to a mixture of freezing rain and sleet is expected in the coming hours. So we are expecting that transition to come. Look how far north this extends. This is much farther north at this time than we were expecting. So that's very interesting to note. Recent RAF, HRRR, I don't know who says that, HRRR solutions appear to be capturing ongoing precipitation type trends well per latest. Let me just look through this. Yeah, so some pressure falls. Okay, so some freezing rain of up to 0.05 to 0.1 inch per hour will be possible. That is quite a bit, especially if it lasts for like 10 hours. That's going to be an inch. So, be careful out there. That's going to cause some problems. Let me see how much of this is already ice. Knoxville is completely under the ice. Let me see if I can get a traffic camera in Knoxville. Even up here would be cool. It's kind of hard to tell because it is nighttime in there. Oh, you can see that's some ice. It's very wet in that region. Could just be rain, but the fact that it's like kind of dusting up and compiling in that way kind of makes me think it's rain. And also how fast the cars are going. Not really sure. It might just be rain, and let me see that. There is actually a small pocket of rain possibly in that area. But we're actually going to look farther north, because I feel like it's in the farther northern area. So, let's go further up, 81. It's kind of hard to tell on this camera, it's blurry. There's a little bit of ice on the grass, it looks like. I think that is ice, because it doesn't look as thick as snow. I mean, it could be a little snow too, but we don't really know. Truck's still going kind of fast. I don't really know. Okay. There might be some ice on this thing. You can see a lot of that snow. Let me see if it's transitioned to ice yet in Nashville. This is kind of blurry. Some lights though. Yeah, it's pretty blurry there. You can see all the snow from earlier, though. That definitely is a lot of accumulation. I'm pretty sure this area overperformed, but that's only so far. I mean, I don't know if it's going to overperform with all this ice. See, a lot of the snow is on the roadway. Let me see the radar for this area, though. There might be a little pocket of ice coming. It is in that ice region, but most of the precipitation has stopped. Let me change that. Yeah, that's perfect. You know, we still see the heavy icy precipitation. Could be ice or sleet near Sweetwater. Let me look back at the camera. Let me see if that pileup is still going on. Or I don't know if that's how you call it. It looks like it's improved slightly. It looks like there less traffic now, so that is better. You can see how much snow is just on those roadways. I mean, that is insane. Lots of snow. And it could be ice. Could be ice. We don't really know. Because we're not there. Let me see how much snow Oklahoma was supposed to get. 2 to 9 inches. So, I mean, I think it is overperforming a little. We'll see what happens. Let me see in Fort Smith. 6 to 10 inches. Locally up to 15 inches. Definitely insane for that area. Nothing going on in my area yet. Just checking for you guys. Let me just see when it's supposed to start. Yeah, it's not really starting anytime soon, so we'll see. Once again, guys, please make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications if you enjoy this content. I'll be live streaming up until 10 p.m. Eastern Time, so that's in 3 hours. Would say the storm is pretty widespread. Wouldn't say... I don't know if it's overperforming or not, but I can't really say that during the event, so... Weird. Radar Omega is so glitchy. Maybe when I switch over to the scene... Yeah, when I switch over to the scene, it, like, focuses on this the most. Interesting. Very interesting. Still have that special weather statement for that thunderstorm in Hammond, Louisiana. Not much going on with it. It looks like it has some reflectivity, so some hail with it. That's about it. Can also see some rain in those areas. I don't get why there's flood advisories up here in Michigan. Let me see what that's about. Okay, it's called an ice jam. I think... Yeah, ice. There's just some ice in the river. Some of it is unfrozen. That's what it means. And sometimes water takes a while to cool down with the air, so that's probably what's going on. I was confused for a second. That's why we have these warnings in Nebraska, too, and in Illinois. Even though it's a flood warning. Ice jam still. Oh, it looks like that pileup is back. Not sure what happened. I don't know why it suddenly stopped for a second, but now it's back. Full action. Yeah, it looks really bad out there. Somebody must have got into an accident. We don't really know. Not here. It's somewhere just southwest of Sweetwater. Somewhere just southwest of Sweetwater. We're looking at that. Yeah, here's the camera. Somewhere just southwest of Sweetwater is where the accident happened. And to the south of Sweetwater, we're experiencing a lot of traffic. Do have all these winter storm warnings in New Mexico, so let's see what's going on there. There is some snow near Carrizozo, Fort Sumner, Portales, Oswell. But I think most of it has already passed. It says it expires in 15 hours, but I think most of it has passed. We'll see if something else happens. I don't really know. Not much going on in Arkansas. Special weather statement over here. Don't know what that's about. Windy conditions. Okay. I mean, that's going to be happening with the big trough. It's going to be pulling up moisture. That's going to cause some winds. Not too much to talk about right now. But we are seeing that snow to ice transition in northeastern Kentucky. I meant Tennessee. Looking back at the special weather statement near Hammond, it's really hard to see because it's so close to the radar, but definitely a storm. Let's look back. Sweetwater. More ice is coming. Takes a while to load. It says we have 318 alerts right now. That's just because it's counting all of the alerts. Basically all of them. Yeah, this is taking a bit to load. I can tell the Wi-Fi is a bit slow. One thing to note, it's surprising, but there's only one winter weather advisory in Alaska. All the winter weather advisories and stuff are down here. I mean, of course, that's just due to the location of the winter storm, so it's kind of to be expected. Although it does say some freezing rain is possible in southwest Alaska, but we talk about Alaska a little bit, but not as much. You can't really see much there. It's hard to tell with the radar. Okay, so I'll be right back. I just need to check on something real quickly. I'll be back in like 2 minutes. I'm back. Let's see what's going on. So now the heavy ice is right in Sweetwater, so let's see at that camera again. Not an update in a while. Still a bit of a pile up. Mostly trucks in that film too. Didn't notice this, with the measured scale discussion, he goes all the way down to Charlotte. So, you might have just it's already a bit icy there. You can see in the northern corner of Charlotte, there's some ice. But it's mixing in with snow at the moment. There might be a little snow in North Carolina, but I'm not really expecting much. Snow up to like 2 inches in Raleigh. That's about it. We're not expecting much. But anyways, guys, make sure to like and subscribe. You don't have to, of course, but it'll help this get to more of an audience. Especially when they need it. We'll be ending in about 2.5 hours. Wow, this program is really slow. Guess I'm shifting around too much. Where's the... Oh, I can show the satellite if I want to. Here. This is more of a view. Let's keep it like this. Looks like somebody's talking about the front. Now it'll affect Puerto Rico. Let me see. Oh, that's not gonna work. Why? Let me see in Puerto Rico. I don't know what the conditions are like. It's still part of the U.S. Not much going on there, but the front will pass through. The front will pass. It'll be very big north to south. I mean, of course, it's not going to last throughout the entirety of the U.S. because it's going to end near New Jersey, that region. Because that's when it's usually snow. You don't really get fronts. It's just a big mess of storms, really. That's just because it's not really a consolidation of like warm and cold air. Sometimes you can get snow on the backside of a front. Hello. We are here tracking this winter storm. Does the storm have a name? I mean, of course, there's a name from the Weather Channel, but we don't really talk about that here. I did do one live stream once where I included that name, but I don't know. I feel like it's like kind of general for these winter storms, but you know, let me look up what that name is here. I'll be back. Well, I'm looking it up. I guess I stopped doing that. Or is it Enzo? I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's Fern. Okay. Well, of course, it's not an official name. But, you know. Still, some people like to refer it by that. See some heavy snow in Clarksville, Arkansas. Almost getting into those pinks. Jeez, Random Mega's really slow right now. Some heavy snow in Harrison, too. I'm checking Little Rock, though. I haven't really looked much there. Let's switch the scene. Yeah, there's not really much going on in Little Rock, actually. It's pretty tame there, would say. Some ice nearby. Still have this special weather statement near Hammond, Louisiana. I mean, the thunderstorm has actually moved out of that special weather statement, so I'm not sure why they still have it. Just checking something. And let's check back at our camera in Sweetwater. Let me see if that pile-up's still there. Yeah, you can see the lights turning on as we, enter nighttime. Still a big pile up there, so it must have been a really bad accident. We don't really know. Not enough information. Yeah, I mean, we're just watching the storm develop. There's not really much to say here, especially if I can't show anything. So, I mean, of course, we can look at more traffic cameras if you guys want. It's not really much to say right now, but still got a lot of weather conditions going on. You can see it's still mostly snow near Roanoke right now. And that's going to remain the case for a little bit ahead. Don't know why Roanoke isn't even showing up. Okay, there it is. But yeah, it is some snow, and some heavy snow near Greensboro, North Carolina. You can see that. Very interesting. It is going to be a little bit of some heavy snow there. You can see how far east this is going, and this is going to gradually head north towards the northeast. It's going to go east and then north. Let's look at the snow in that area, actually. Let me see if I can get North Carolina cameras. All these cameras are not video in North Carolina. I was just checking. Okay. So some snow in Virginia, North Carolina right now. Let's look back at our pileup. No, I seem like I'm repeating stuff. Just not too much to say right now. I mean, it's mostly because I can't really get the reports and stuff. I mean, I can look for reports and stuff. Let me just see what the report is. Can't find anything. We'll see it when we get it. here's some video of a road in North Carolina. No, that's just my computer screen. Never mind. Thought that was snow, but it's just my computer screen. But yeah, I was still seeing quite a bit. Is this new? Did the winter storm warning just get extended up here? Or was it already like that? No, it was already like that, okay. I don't know, I didn't see it before. But anyways, southern Michigan might get 5 to 8 inches. So that's something. Special weather statement for Louisiana is gone, which makes sense because the thunderstorm went out of the area. Chile is widespread. Okay, so we got a flood warning in Mississippi near Gatman for the Buttahatchee River. It says minor flooding is possible. Yeah, I mean, there is a lot of rain in the area, and I think this is rain. Let me just make sure. Interesting, it's right by the ice, but it's not really ice, so it's just missing it, it looks like. So mostly have rain there, it looks like, which is good news for that reason. I mean, otherwise they wouldn't issue a flood warning, unless if it was for, like, the ice, what's it called? Ice pileups. Let's see. Do we have any new reports and stuff? Nothing new. Yeah. Jeez, computer's so slow. Let's see if we can get something near that flood warning, honestly. Because that might be interesting. Let's see over here. This is in Columbus. I mean, it's kind of close. Let me just make sure that it's rain in this area. It looks like rain. You can switch the video, yeah. Yeah, definitely rain. You can see all the, and you can see it in the car's reflections, I feel like. See that it's pouring rain. So that's good news for that area. I don't know if they're under a winter storm warning, though. Let me see. I don't think they are. They are. But I don't know for when. It says significant icing. Like 1/2 inch, so. Don't really know. But, I mean, it doesn't look like this is ice. See, the cars are doing fine getting onto the highway. So I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, sorry guys, I mean, there's not much to talk about. Let's just look for more cameras, I guess. Can do that. Looking at this camera still. It's getting real slow, everything on my computer. It is cloudy here, so starting. Did this get extended? Might have. Might have seen that extension to the Baton Rouge flood advisory. How fast is Fern moving? Let's look at the model. It's really hard to tell. I knew that Thunderstorm was probably moving at like 40 miles per hour, but let me see the whole thing. I mean, it's kind of hard to tell. Here, let me get back. Alright, we're waiting for the 0ZH I guess, because that might be interesting. Because that goes all the way out. But otherwise... I gotta look at the full storm somehow, right? Let's look. I'd say about 80 miles and Well, it's not 80 miles, technically. Let's say about 40 miles in an hour. So let's say 40 miles an hour. I think it's moving at about 40 miles an hour to the west-northwest, east-northeast, I would say. So, a fast-moving storm, but definitely by no standards the fastest storm I've ever seen. I haven't looked at the pile-up in a little bit. Okay, so it looks like it has cleared up. No, this is 17 minutes old, so I don't know what it is now. Or something. I don't know why there's such a large gap in between this traffic here and over here. But it looks like it has cleared up, so they must have taken care of the accident. I need to see if there's any other pile-ups or actual accidents that we can see, just to show an example. We don't really know. Abilene is getting some ice, though, so... And some snow. I mean, it's pretty significant. Can't see much. Well, we can't really see much on this because, of course, these are frames, so... I have this camera still up. See how slow they're going. This isn't live, though, it doesn't look like. It doesn't look like this is live. Or maybe that was an old video. I don't really know. Might have been. See if the sound actually works. I guess we don't need it. Yeah, there's no sound on this. Interesting to say the least. Still no 0Z. I guess the 18Z ECMWF is out, but the problem... Oh, I can't see that otherwise. Never mind. But if we look at the model, we will look at the models a little bit. It's kind of hard to tell on GFS because, of course, it's so... goes so far out, but it doesn't really work in the time of the event. But you can see quite a bit of heavy snow in Pennsylvania and Ohio as time goes on. See that transition into sleet in New York City as the low-pressure system deepens. It even goes as far as southern Massachusetts, so that's something to know. And probably Nantucket will get only rain. So this is a big difference than what we were seeing before. See a little bit of snow in the region of the Northeast, 12Z to 18Z. Definitely a big difference than what we were looking at for. Everything shifted farther north, and it's kind of weird because it didn't really have any trends to the south after that shift north. You can see a widespread foot still, even after this point. Oh, well, that's the 18Z, so let me look at the 18. That's the 12Z I meant. Did this shift a little bit farther south? It's hard to tell. Let me see the surface of precipitation. Kinda. Towards the end, it shifted a little further south. It is a little farther south, but it really isn't that much of a big difference. I would say there's a lot of uncertainty in the Northeast still at this moment. That's kind of strange, considering how close we are, but it happens. It happens. There is a lot of uncertainty. National Weather Service is even still uncertain. I mean, they say like 8 to 12 inches in my area. Still some heavy ice in the Abilene area, going into Wichita Falls. Some heavy snow in western Oklahoma. I think there was a bigger snow band approaching Oklahoma City, but it kind of broke apart. So that's interesting to note. I mean, still, there's snow going on, so this is definitely going to be overperforming in Oklahoma. But I think that's the main overperforming area. I mean, with the models still, like, showing all this transition into ice, I feel like we're going to underperform a little bit. It depends on your location, of course, unless if the models are wrong. You could still see some snow in this region. Of course, it's already transitioning to some rain in Tennessee, and especially Alabama. So that goes to show where we can see the transition already. Be right back. Wait, never mind. Thought of it. Thought it would have to go, but it didn't. Wait, I'll be right back. I need to eat something. Be right back. I am back. Just had to eat a little something. But we are back, covering more of this winter storm. Let's see if the ZZH is out. Okay, so it is starting to load in. ZZH is starting to load in. This is its depiction of the current situation, but of course we gotta wait until the full thing loads in. I would say it's fairly accurate right now. I mean, maybe the sleet is a little far north. I don't know if Radar Omega has it. Let me see weather-wise, just because that... Wait. That has, it shows sleet. So, let me just see this. Yeah, I mean, that is sleet. I think it is included. Oh, no, it's included as ice here. I mean, it's kind of different. I don't know if this is dependent on temperature or not, but... What is that here? Sorry. Okay. Okay. So yeah, that is sleet, and that is exactly what the HRRR is saying. And it goes into Missouri a little bit. And not sure if that's quite what's happening here, but yeah, it still says snow. I mean, I heard something about like sleet in Missouri, but I'm not really expecting that. So here's CO3Z. This is 10 p.m. Eastern. And you can see quite a bit going on. I didn't really show the freezing rain like amounts. I think I did. No, I did. But in like the previous video, but I can show them here. Yeah, I mean, it's insane how we already have almost half an inch in Louisiana. I mean, is it icing there right now? I think it is, yeah. Yeah, but let me see weather-wise, because that shows sleet, too. Yeah. And there's a little snow in the northwest corner, apparently. Don't know if I can trust that. But yeah, we are seeing some ice, and fairly heavy, too, so I wouldn't be surprised if we get, like, half an inch. So please be careful over there. I think that's the main hotspot right now, but it goes into Mississippi, of course. Goes into Mississippi. Alright, we got our next frame. Let's go back to surface and precipitation. Yeah, I mean, that's still... One thing I am noticing, the snow isn't really as... I mean, I kind of noticed this with the past couple of model runs. The snow isn't really that heavy. I think the heaviest part of all the precipitation is starting to become the ice. And that's very interesting. I don't know if we're going to get as much snow as we thought we were in several places, but I think Oklahoma's like the only place where it's going to overperform. But this is interesting how the snow isn't really much heavy anymore. We'll see what it does when it gets up to the northeast, but I did notice that. I've noticed that in the past couple of model runs. Waiting for the next frame. Just gotta hydrate. Okay, there's our next frame. I mean, there's a little bit of heavy snow in, like, the tri-state region, Kentucky, Missouri, Illinois, but I don't know, it seems less heavy than it used to be. You could see that slight shift to the northeast. towards the northeast. But I don't know. Seems like the storm is kind of downtrending. I'm not saying that it's not gonna be. And to be honest, it was only downtrending for the snow. I think it's uptrending in terms of ice, so that's pretty bad. I mean, really, we could get like an inch and a half of ice somewhere, and that's really, really bad. So it's not looking good for people that were forecasted to get snow. Now they seem like they're gonna get ice. It really depends where you are, but I don't know. Seems like the snow amount is going down a little. Or heading further north. I mean, it's a very small corridor when you're gonna get heavy snow. Looks like it. It looks like there's a more widespread area of heavy snow on the next frame. There's, like, it goes all the way from, like, Poplar Bluff, Missouri, all the way into Louisville. So that's a little more widespread. I mean, I kind of saw this in the earlier Model 1s, too, where it was kind of depicting it to be a little weaker at the beginning, and then it would slowly strengthen on way to the northeast. That's kind of the thing with the nor'easter, too. But I don't know. Definitely a little interesting. It's not what we expected fully. Not what we fully expected. Alright. Then we can see some heavy snow. I'm gonna replay this whole thing at the end. I'm just looking frame by frame because it's coming out as we speak. I'm gonna play the whole thing at the end though, so don't worry. You can see the snow ends in Texas and Oklahoma by about this time. This is around 3 a.m. tonight. You can also see some snow in Louisville area too, and into Indiana. I need to charge my computer. I'll be right back. Just wait a sec. Wait, my charger's here the whole time. It's right here. Hear the charging noise. Move this. I don't know why it keeps trending that way. Okay. No new frames yet. But still looking. It's definitely been an interesting winter storm, I'll say the least. To say the least. Just looking at the radar. Jeez, so slow. Okay. Some snow in Virginia Beach area. Looks like it. Okay, next frame. Yeah, now it's here where it kind of goes up into Pennsylvania and then ships east. Wow, that was a quick overspread of New Jersey. I noticed that. I'm sorry if I'm biasing too much towards my area. But this is where we get the end of snow in Oklahoma. There's still a little bit west of Oklahoma City, but it's kind of, like, going away. I mean, the ice... It isn't showing rain in West Virginia anymore. It isn't really showing that. Well, maybe in the next frame it is showing that. It's not really. I think it ends in West Virginia. You can still see some sleet pretty high up, though. So, I mean, I don't know what this model's one is trying to portray. It's interesting, to say the least. I don't know why I keep saying that. Sorry, somebody's calling me. I don't know. Here, let me show back. I guess it's school closing down? I don't know. I don't know what it is. Sorry. Oh, yeah. It's a school. Yeah, it's a different school, but that's a school in New Jersey. It says it's gonna be closed. I'm not saying that's my school because I don't even think it is. I didn't really check. Alright, so it looks like the ice in Texas has kind of weakened a little bit. I mean, it's very small corridor. It seems like it's kind of remaining a little weak, I would say. Not very widespread. Up into Wichita Falls, you can still see some ice. Down in this, what is this? 82 to, I don't know what this road is. Yeah, I have no idea. Down to this corridor near Abilene, you can still see a lot of ice. I don't know where you can spot the, snow on the backside yet, though. I don't know if you can. But anyways, here's the next two frames. Then you can see snow starting to overspread in New York City by 7 a.m. tomorrow, so that's the time you're looking for. And heavy snow in Louisville into West Virginia, so there's where the heavy snow kind of overspreads. You can see a tiny bit of rain in West Virginia, but it's like just barely in the southwestern corner. Washington, D.C. gets a little bit of snow, but it's really not going to be that much. I don't know what they're expecting exactly. Let me look at what they're expecting. Jeez, so slow. Isn't there a radar over here? Oh, yeah, there is. Oh my gosh. Oh, wait, I don't need to see the radar anyways. Wow. It's much more than I thought. 6 to 10 inches? 14 inches possible? What does it say for this area near Philadelphia? Weird. I don't know why it's more in Maryland. It's kind of weird. I guess maybe the precipitation gradient is a little different. It's kind of weird. Don't really get that fully. Still waiting for this full run to come through. I guess I'll play it through when the storm is pretty much out of the U.S. Okay, so we do have a new mesoscale discussion through Dallas to Fort Worth. I mean, Fort Smith. Sorry. Arkansas. Let's look at that. Still isn't appearing on the SBC website yet, so let's just see if I can see it through here. Is this it? No, this is it. Mix of freezing rain and sleet to continue through the evening. That's what they're saying. Sleet accumulations around 0.10 to 0.50 inches per hour. That's a lot. But freezing rain accumulations haven't been that much, which makes sense. I mean, I guess it's mostly sleet then. But there is a warm nose. Freezing rain is really not going to be that much in this area. I mean, I don't think this was the hot spot, but yeah, it doesn't really seem like it's going to be that much there. So that area might overperform in snow, maybe? I don't know. Or sleet. I mean, sleet is pretty similar to snow, but not the same thing. My gosh, so slow. I also think it's because I don't have a lot of space on my computer. So, sorry about that, guys. Alright, wait. The triple R probably came in. Yeah, 2 new frames. 3 new frames. I mean, this is what they're talking about in Washington, D.C. I'm surprised because it's mostly sleet, and they didn't even say snow and sleet. They just said pure snow. I mean, it does jut down a little bit to the south there. One thing that's not really getting my hopes up in terms of snow in these areas. Now it is heading into West Virginia, the rain. It just took a bit. Also, looking down here, you can see that line develop. Can't really see the supercells yet. I mean, it's really hard to see from this far away. But yeah. Definitely some very north trajectory of the rain. I mean, it's not going to go much further north than this, but we're still kind of seeing a change. Still a lot of snow in Tulsa, which is kind of what we expected. Here's the next frame. Wow. That is kind of far north. It goes up into Ohio. Now, this is actually good news for the freezing rain, I will admit. This is good news for the freezing rain, if this is actually rain. I'm not sure if it's actually going to be rain, because this is pretty far north. I mean, I know the warm nose can be strong. It's very interesting. And you can see, also on the backside, it's no longer really expected to be snow. It's expected to be ice instead. So even more ice accumulations out in Mississippi and Alabama then. This is definitely much different of a storm than I was expecting, I will say that. But of course, this is one model run. It is kind of trending towards the NAM. We will see, I mean, the main indicator will be how far the snow rain line goes. We'll see. You can see it's all sleet in Washington, D.C., so I'm kind of surprised about that. Why they're forecasting so much. Yeah, most of West Virginia is pretty much under rain. So that is... wow. And even in the mountains, it's not really snow, it's freezing rain. I'm keeping my eye on that, because that's definitely a difference. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Just had to go away. Yeah, there's where that sleet kind of moves up. Okay. Yeah, most of West Virginia's still in that rain. You can see it's starting to transition to a little bit of snow on the backside, so... I mean, it's weird. It's like the warm sector changes in strength from now and then. It's definitely strange. I will say, also, this transition from snow to sleet in some areas up here in the Northeast is also kind of later than expected. I mean, I'm noticing very intricate details here, but... Still no new runs. Let me check back at her. Well, I mean, I think that's gone by now. Where's... Yeah, it's gone. So... Alright, sorry. Wait. Let's look back at our runs. Is that it? For the snow sleet line? I mean, that is below New York City. I don't know if it's trending further south. I mean, it really doesn't look like it. But I feel like I'm just saying all this because, like, you know, I'm wishing for snow here. But even for everybody here, I mean, also, it's the freezing rain risk. I mean, sleet won't be that bad, but freezing rain in Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina will still be bad. Let me see how much accumulation that is in the end. I gotta see, because this is basically where the ice ends. So, I gotta see how much that is. Still says over 2 inches, or almost 2 inches in Mississippi, and 2 inches in Tennessee. I don't really think that's possible, but maybe this amount in Georgia, we could see 1.5 inches. I feel like it's almost going to be more here in Georgia than it is in Mississippi and Tennessee. It might be more, and especially with the snow in Nashville already, I feel like this is a little overestimated, so I don't know. You can see this goes all the way into Raleigh, though, up to 1/2 inch of ice. So this is still going to be an intense storm. I think the ice has uptrended, so that's pretty bad. But one thing to say, I think it has shifted a little further south. I mean, we're talking about like 20 miles here, but definitely interesting. I think it has shifted a little bit. Looks like it. Okay. Let's hope my stream is okay. Like, do I sound okay? I look pretty clear. Okay. I was just looking at my stream to make sure that didn't look weird. Let me see how much snow so far, though. This is 7 p.m. local time, like Eastern time. Wow. I mean, that's a lot of snow. It's definitely downtrended in Kentucky, Indiana, and Ohio, probably because of the ice. You're still expecting a lot of snow. I mean, some of this could be sleet. I am thinking some of this could be sleet. Because it does look like it. Especially with the 7 inches in Washington, D.C. I don't think we're going to see 7 inches of pure snow. But, I mean, sleet is pretty close to snow. So, I don't know. It really depends on what you want to think about it. How you want to think about it, I meant. It's definitely uptrending in northern New Jersey, I would say. And in New York. Yeah. I mean, New York might get a foot. It's looking like that's a possibility again. And that was not a possibility for a second there. So you guys might be in the clear for a foot. And then Philadelphia, you guys aren't probably getting a foot. I would say like 6 inches, 9 inches. And then the main hotspot is still going to be like near Louisville. I would say that's still true. Maybe near Pittsburgh, most likely, if you're being cautious, err on the side of caution for like the ice and stuff and sleet. But I would say we could get 15 inches of snow more in Kentucky, especially in this far north, because that's not where the ice is going to impact that much. But if we look at the surface and precipitation here, still, and some heavy snow on the backside still. And that's kind of, I mean, it always kind of lasts longer in Pennsylvania, I kind of noticed. Just because the mountains kind of make it go longer, and the lake effect too. So that's kind of what you notice. It's kind of what you notice. Have I been on the wrong screen the entire time? I'm so tired of this. Alright. Well, here's what we're looking at the total snowfall. This is what I was talking about. 15 inches in Kentucky. A foot in the New York area. 13 inches in eastern Pennsylvania. That is a lot. And that will be the hotspot. I mean, unless we get more in Boston and those reasons. In the Northeast. I mean, it's trending a little bit in the Northeast favor, I would say. But kind of, again, let me compare this with the 18Z. See, I'm unsure. I mean, honestly, for New York City, I think there's a little bit of a higher chance for snow now. But the HRRR was always kind of keen on, like, kind of making the snow far south. I would say that. But we really don't know. It really depends on what the NAM says, actually. Because the NAM really had the freezing line very far north. Not a lot of updates recently, so we're waiting. But honestly, we are approaching the end of the winter storm in the U.S. By this point. So, let's see. There's where the foot appears near Boston, so about 14 inches in Cape Cod. That looks like to be the hot spot in the... Which makes sense, because that's mostly above the freezing line. It's going to end in New York City and most of Long Island by about midnight that night. So, Sunday night. Doesn't look like it's going to go into Monday much anymore. I mean, it's possible we get some small snow showers, but... not really expecting that. And that's pretty much it for the snowstorm at that point. A lot in Maine. Well, like what the person said earlier. Looks like a little bit of snow in the mountains of West Virginia there. That's pretty much it in the U.S. aside from Maine. I mean, even then, it kind of goes offshore, so... let's look at our total accumulation, then. That's about it. I mean, it's probably not it in Maine. I mean, 11 inches sounds a little low, even for Maine. Up to 16 inches in western Maryland, so that might be the hot spot. There's a lot of little hot spots in there. And you can see we're going to get around 4 inches more in Oklahoma. 6 inches or 7 inches in the eastern part. 8 Missouri. And then ice. Let me just move on to here. Might get a little in New Jersey, a little sliver, but that's just going to be a trace. Yeah, we are seeing 1.5 inches in West Virginia. Whoa. 2 inches there. I'm surprised in West Virginia, honestly, because we weren't really expecting that. But this second wave might be intense. See what happens with the second wave. Yeah, and 2 inches in Mississippi, I don't think that's going to happen. We're probably going to see like 1 inch in Mississippi, but that's still really bad. Still going to cause some power outages. For sure. But yeah, I mean, it shifted a little farther south, but really not enough to cause any major difference. That's the new HRRR model. Let's look at our radar again. But in the meantime, guys, if you want, you could subscribe. You could also turn on the like. Turn on notifications just so this goes out to more people. We'll be ending a stream in about 1.5 hours by now. Maybe earlier. We'll see what happens between now and then. I mean, if anything crucial happens, we'll let you know. But yeah, we're still seeing some ice and snow accumulations. Fort Smith, Russellville, Antlers, Oklahoma, Durant. Those areas. How much snow will New Jersey get? That is where I am. So, pretty much know I've been focusing about that a lot. I would say like a foot. It depends where you are in New Jersey. You haven't really specifically stated where in New Jersey, but it really depends. I would say southern New Jersey, like Cape May, like only like 4 inches probably. Atlantic City maybe 6. Toms River maybe 8. And then going up into the northern tip of New Jersey, that's probably a foot. So, near a foot, if not a foot. And you will get some ice too. There will be a tiny bit of ice and sleet accumulations. And that might cause some problems. But it's really not going to be that much. It's going to be like at most 0.15 inches. So really not much. Like a tenth of an inch. But you will be getting a little bit. Okay. The RAP is in RAP. Let's see what that has to show. I mean, it doesn't really go out that far, but 21 hours is still interesting. It still will show quite a bit. Let's see. I mean, really, this whole snowband, the heavy snowband that was developing over Ohio and Pennsylvania, that's what causes Pittsburgh to get so much snow, but it really dissipates by the time it reaches the Northeast. Probably because the system's a little weaker. No, I don't think it is. I just think it's more offshore. So that might be the problem. Austin? Oh, wait. Yeah, Austin apparently is under a ice storm warning. I didn't know when that happened. 1/4 to 1/2 inch. Ice is possible. But we don't really know much about it. We haven't really heard any reports. My gosh, so slow. Don't know what's happening. Here, the snow continues. There's where the sleet starts to come up. Let me see how much snow. New York City gets about 9 inches. Southern Ohio gets 18 inches. I mean, that might be overestimating a little. But it's possible. For sure. Small little sliver of a foot in New Jersey. 14, 15 inches. Maryland and West Virginia. So here it says the hot spot is in Ohio. And then looking at the total freezing rain. We haven't really gone into the peak of the freezing rain in Georgia yet, but that is some widespread inch. That's a widespread area of an inch of freezing rain. I mean, this could be the storm. We would see, like, many power outages from that, so this could be the storm that we haven't really seen in years. Then in Austin, where we just looked, it's going to be, like, 12 inches, so. And then, like, 1.5 inches in Louisiana is still quite a bit. I mean, of course, that's quite a bit. Insane storm. Insane storm. But, looking across the U.S., this is what we're seeing. If it loads, oh, that's why. This is what we're seeing in terms of water vapor and the natural color, which won't appear, obviously. There are some thunderstorms in Alabama, looks like, and some in Mexico. But infrared, you can see this is a big storm with many bands to it. Definitely one for the ages, I guess you could say. Oh yeah, let's look at power outages. Because I just got a notification about power outages. We gotta look at power outages. $48,000 in Texas, 57,000 in Louisiana. That's from all the ice. I was about to say the lice. I don't know what I meant by that. 34,000 in Ouachita County. Is that Monroe? It's Monroe. Monroe, Louisiana. Wait, let me make sure. Yeah, Monroe, Louisiana. In that county, there's 34,000 without power. Let me see what's going on there right now. Because, I mean, just wanted to make sure what that power outage notification is all about. And it seems like we are seeing some power outages. Mostly from ice is what we expected. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of ice in that region. I mean, mostly it's just from the past couple of hours, because it seems like the main ice band has just been moving up north, like, the past few hours, or hour or so. So, I mean, of course, there probably was more before that, but definitely some power outages in Monroe because of that. You can also see in Texas there's quite a bit. 48,000. For some reason, we got a lot here, but that's also because of the snow, I think. To 7,000 in Shelby County. That's where the ice is. So, very interesting. But pretty devastating if you think about it. Definitely not what you want to be, especially with all this cold. I mean, it's probably going to get down to like 10 degrees down there. So that's not good. Alright, guys, I mean, we pretty much looked at everything here. I mean, I tried my best with all the information that I provided here. If we do need to go live again, and we of course will, I feel like it's going to be a little more eventful tomorrow, especially with the severe weather and stuff that I can actually show you. But that's pretty much going to be it. I just wanted to do some sort of update today, even if it wasn't for the full 4 hours. But that's pretty much it for me, guys. Thank you for watching. Please make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications. If you don't know what the notifications look like, it's the bell icon right next to the subscribe button when you subscribe. Also, make sure to like this video. I don't care if it's like, if you really didn't like this video, fine, dislike. But, anyways, it's always important to know that you always have someone in need. And that someone in need can go with you on the more you stay on the